It's the motherfucking D-O-double-G.
Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Whiskey and Wisdom After Dark. Your coach here in Bastrop with old Russell, the jaded cowboy down here in Bastrop also. And J-Love is in his man cave in Bastrop. And Donnie, a little behind,
Good morning.
a little behind the weather, but or under the weather. Behind the right one, but under the weather in Tennessee. Donnie, how we doing over there, brother?
I'm here, buddy.
Welcome aboard, everybody. It's December 28th, 3 days after Christmas. I didn't have a Christmas because I was sick as a dog and I slept for 2.5 days. But I am better now. I want to thank whoever invented the gummy. I want to just thank you, tip of the hat right now. I appreciate everything you're doing and everything you've done and everything that you're going to do as far as advancing that part of my vices. Gentlemen, I am in Bastrop. Welcome, everybody. We got a couple of things to talk about, but we're going to start it off. Check this out, fellas. I am drinking. It's called a Walking Stick. 90 proof. No. Walking Stick. It's Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Single barrel. Not very expensive. Really clear. Took the first swig and it was kind of harsh to the tongue, harsh to the throat, and I can feel it in my belly right now. So the walking stick, I mean, it makes sense why they call it walking stick. You'll probably need one after you have a couple of these drinks. What are we drinking over there, Donnie?
Donnie's not drinking anything. Donnie is sick, so I do not have a drink. They told me to not drink tonight, which is kind of weird. I will tell you this though, and I sent you guys a picture. I did have the William LaRue Weller signature glass that came out. That was, what was that, Monday? Yeah, Monday. And that shit was amazing. It was super smooth, really good. Not going to pay $2,400 for a bottle of it, but yeah, that one shot was really nice.
I like it. Yes. J-Love, what you got going on over there?
Man, I left work today and I was, I don't know, a case of the dragon ass. So I'm kind of pounding back vodka and Monster right now. So I need a little pick-me-up.
We like
quick bump.
Yeah, that's what, I like bumps too. Russell, what are you drinking over there, my brother? Well, now I can't hear you.
Hey, you muted yourself.
Russell is he's gonna have to fix himself and then come back. But Donnie, when I was sick, it was Friday, the Friday Christmas Eve. I got home from work. I didn't feel well. I laid down, and I was out till late Saturday night, and then I think I drank 3 hot toddies. And I drank it with that nasty ass, what's that, grease your wheel with your whiskey that you love, J-Love?
Garage oil.
Ooh, God dang, that's some.
Yeah, but that's not something that you'd mix with it.
Well, I did. I made I made 3 hot toddies with that, and it put my ass to sleep, and I didn't wake up till late Sunday night, and I was rip-roaring ready to go after that. Hey, we back, Russell?
I hope so. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, hold on one second. I want to get back to this because me and J-Lo were talking hot toddies. What should I mix with my hot toddy?
Your hot toddies should definitely not be mixed with garage oil. I mean, garage oil is a sipping whiskey. It's definitely something that you don't want to mix anything with. But as far as what you've got there in your hand, that big handle there, that'd probably go good with it. A little bit of rot gut. I mean,
boys, that's what this is. Check it out. That's what this is. Walking stick. It's got the stick right here. I think this thing cost me maybe $30. So
I got a bottle of from my dear friend Jack. He surprised me, and I wasn't expecting it. And it was he bought me a bottle of Hog's Eye bourbon.
Oh.
They're like $30 bottles. They're not extremely expensive, but it has a bite, kind of like that. But it's definitely not something that you would just sip on straight. Right. It's definitely probably mid shelf. but it's not bad. I've been kind of sipping on that off and on.
I got you.
So, but yeah, tonight, man, I needed to pick me up, and I have no fucking idea why. So,
It's one
so
of
I
those,
just needed some vodka and Monster, man. So,
just one of those days, huh?
yeah.
Let's see, Russ, what are you drinking over there down on the river?
Well, I went to CVS to get some Prilosec because I've been having some heartburn, and I went to go get some Miller Lite, and they didn't have it, so we're going with some near beer, little
Oh,
Mick Ultra.
well, you should have got some Zima while you were there. I think those are on special.
Yeah, well, they were at a
Yeah,
Jolly
they sell them
Ranchers,
next to the
so
Jolly Ranchers. So,
yeah.
kind of a combo.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I did it. It was pretty good.
Oh yeah, I think we all
did it.
have.
I did it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think we all have.
Yeah, so I think all of us has gone through the crud so far. But man, I tell you what, there's some things I do want to do this. I just want to tell everybody, we talk about a lot of negative stuff around here, or not negative, but the stuff that's going on in the world, which is 90% negative, right? And there's very few things, and then when we do talk about the good things in life, it's pretty cool. We open up and stuff. We see things that are different than we usually would.
Speaking of, did you hear the latest news on Brittany Griner?
No.
Yeah, exactly. No one gives a fuck.
Huh?
I said, yeah, exactly. No one gives a fuck.
Exactly. Well, here's a feel-good story for you guys. For everybody listening, I want to start you off with something positive, something great, something that you could set your mind at ease and know that if anything ever goes bad, what you can do is you can go to Mexico. All right. You can spend a week doing coke and banging hookers, and that will make you decide to live. This is an actual story. We saw this. We talked about this. A guy, he goes to Mexico to kill himself. Who knows what he was going through? But it couldn't have been that bad if he's going to go to Mexico to kill himself, because you can do it anywhere. But he goes to Mexico to kill himself. He spends a week doing coke and banging hookers. The dude spends $2 or $3 in nothing but coke for a week and hookers, and decides, you know what? It's a pretty good fucking life, man. I think I'm going to stick around. I think I'm going to stick around a while. So to you, Bob, Dylan, Biff, whatever your name is, congratulations. I'm glad you're still alive. And for the rest of us, there is hope. When you're feeling bad, when you're down in the dumps, you can always go to Mexico, find a hooker and some blow, and come back to the real world. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all
Amen.
ready for an FMK?
Straight out the fucking box.
No.
Oh,
I'll tell you what.
I'm ready.
Okay. Tell me, what if you were to have your last meal? Your last meal. What would it be? Russell, what would your last meal be? No, don't say pussy. Give me a real last meal.
I would have to say probably like a porterhouse medium rare steak with a loaded baked potato and some steamed veggies.
There you go. What about you, J-Lo?
Perfect.
Toaster strudels with a side of maybe frosted mini wheats, and chase it down with I have no fucking clue. I'm trying to rack my brain. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Italian food, so you know what? Right now, honestly, I'm fucking craving meatloaf. So it would probably be one of the biggest, fattest, juiciest slabs of meatloaf I've ever had in my life, with some loaded mashed potatoes, side of Brussels sprouts.
That's pretty
side
awesome.
Salad.
That sounds good, because I'm a huge meatloaf lover. Donnie, what would your last meal be?
So is it the last meal, like I'm getting executed, or is it just, my
Yeah,
last meal?
like you're getting executed, or
Okay.
Hey, I'm dying. This is my last meal.
I'm gonna go out with a bang. Give me Crystal burgers, like 6 doubles with cheese. Get some peanut butter on top of it. And
Peanut butter on your burger?
And a bag of onion rings. And now let me tell you why. Those 3 things upset my stomach to no end. So when I got killed, everybody there would know.
You know what's funny? You mentioned peanut butter, right? So yesterday I'm leaving work and I stop and pick up a sixer at the
Please
local.
tell me your dog is not in this story.
No.
Okay.
No. So I have a story about peanut butter and a Labrador from when I was a sophomore in high school, but it involved a banana. But so anyway, I stop at local convenience store and pick up a sixer of this. I don't even know who the fuck makes it. Belching Beaver Brewing, but it's a peanut butter milk stout.
Really?
That
And
sounds horrible.
no, dude, you know what? No, I honestly, I'm like, man, what the fuck? This sounds really good, and it is. It's a very good beer. Well, stout. Sorry, goes down really smooth. It's not incredibly thick. It's like $10 a 6-pack, but it was actually pretty good. So I'm probably gonna have one of those.
Well, I think I'm gonna go. My last meal would be a couple of different things. I would have
some young guy.
Well, just a top layer. I would have probably a dozen tamales with with about a half dozen eggs over easy on top. Smash it all together with salsa. That'd be one plate. And then I would have me a big square thick shit of that lasagna, the best lasagna you can probably buy anywhere. And then I'd finish it off with a big deal like the kid in Home Alone with all the ice creams and all the different all that
Pancakes.
shit. Yeah, that's probably how I'd finish it off. But I say that to say this, dude. So with our FMK today, it's about food. We're going to the Food Network, and I'm going to give you 3 of the hottest women on the Food Network, and you have to tell me which one you will fuck, which one you will marry, and which one you will kill. Okay.
Maria Menounos, is she one of them?
So the first one, her name is Giada De Laurentiis, a little short Italian girl. Giada De Laurentiis.
Oh.
Okay.
She's the one with the boobies.
Mm-hmm.
I've got an old Southern girl coming at you. Her name is Sandra Lee. She would not only cook for you, but she would also make you some drinks. Teach you how to make drinks. Old tall piece of country water. So I've been to Italy. I've been to the South with Sandra Lee. Now I'm going to Mexico. A girl named Ingrid Hoffman.
Oh shit.
So I got Giada in Italy, Sandra in Georgia, Ingrid somewhere in Mexico.
Fucking Ingrid. She looks like Sarah Michelle Gellar before she fucking crossed over the border.
Yeah, right.
I'll go first.
Okay.
That way y'all got time to think.
All right.
I'm going to go first. I am going to. These two could have gone either way. But I can't marry a Mexican because they're all fucking crazy. And you got to always sleep with one eye open. So I'm going to marry Giada. I'm going to marry Giada. I'm going to fuck Ingrid. And I'm going to kick Sandra Lee. So I'll marry Giada. I'm going to fuck Ingrid. I'm going to marry Sandra Lee.
Okay. I think I'm definitely going to marry the Ingrid chick. I'm marrying that Ingrid chick because I don't think she's full-blooded Mexican. No, the fucking name. What is she? The fucking name like Ingrid? She's got to be a fucking Swede.
And
She's got to be a Swede or something. And Hoffman. She's just fucking.
Well,
Jew?
she's married. That's her married name. Come on.
Whatever. So I'm definitely marrying that one. I'm going to change it to Ingrid Hoffman Love. I'm going to kill the Sandra Lee girl, and then I'm going to fuck Giada. Although Giada this picture is not doing her justice. It's kind of
no. You need to go to her her bikini bathing suit pictures when she's on the
Kind of
beach.
looks like
She's
some
fucking hot.
fucking shit you'd see on Creepy Pasta.
Hey Russ, what would you gonna do? What are
Yes,
you gonna
sir.
do?
Well, I was googling them while we were talking. I think I'm with the consensus here. I would kill Sandra Lee. I would fuck Ingrid. She's not bad to look at. I'm gonna marry Giada. I like the little. She looks like a little spinner. I like those.
Donnie, what do you think over there? And this
I'm
is
gonna
an
make it
interesting. I'll tell you what. This is an interesting take from Donnie because he's sober. So I'm really curious here.
I'm gonna go with the consensus and kill Sandra Lee. Something about her face. I don't know what it is. I don't like her face.
Trevor Lawrence.
Giada, I'm gonna fuck because I don't know that I could stand that smile every day. Like it
I
looks
see
so
what I'm saying.
fake.
It's scary. Yeah.
And then I'll marry Ingrid, and who knows, maybe she's got a good connection to Mexican drug cartels or something. I don't know. So yeah, join the family.
And by the way, for you the guys that are listening, we don't condone drugs or the use of alcohol or anything like that. Even though I do all of that, I don't condone it. So
we don't condone it if you're under 21.
Yeah,
right.
Let's go. Let's at least be somewhat
realistic.
Well, I said that. I mean, I don't condone it. I'm not going to push it on anybody, even if I do it.
Well, I'm not going to push it on a 7-year-old, but I mean, a 27-year-old, sure. But
no, dude.
17.
What do you guys?
I've
thought about this
on the state.
Dude, I've thought about this for 2 nights already. I heard this, and it just got me thinking. And I'm at the point now tonight where I feel like, God, this is it just makes sense. I think I talked to Russ a little bit about it. So the way I look at the presidency and the presidents, right? Before we get into the whole Constitution thing, the way I think about presidents, man, is, it's just one fuck up after another. You go from a Republican that fucks it up to a Democrat that fucks it up to a Republican to a Democrat to a white guy to a black guy. You've tried everything but a fucking Mexican and a woman, right? So my thought is this: why not let a woman get her shot at it? I mean, she can't do any worse. I mean, she can't do any better. I mean, nobody's done any better. I'm just asking. I mean,
I don't have no qualms with the female president. It's just
Me either.
finding the right candidate. As far as those that have thrown their name in the hat, there's really only been one, and that was Hillary. And I mean, Hillary. Let's be honest.
Hillary,
and
yeah.
she did not have the best interest at heart for the American people. And again, I don't have any qualms, ifs, ands, or buts about having a female president. I think that they would really clean shit up. But then again, you'd have to find one.
Is that a pun or was that?
No. I mean, if she's Mexican, she'd clean it up. But the thing is, if you took a female president and threw her into the mix, you'd have to deal with 50 other personalities and the batshit craziness that goes along with a woman. So
it's no different than dealing with Biden or Trump. I mean, you got
true story. I was just about to say that. I mean, it's really no different than dealing with the fucktard that's in there right now.
Because let's be honest, Donnie, don't you think? I mean, haven't we talked about this? The president really doesn't make the fucking decisions. It's the people around him or around her that's going to do it anyway, right? Yeah. What do you think, Don?
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to something the other day about what Putin said about the presidency, and he goes, it doesn't matter who the president is. The day after he becomes president, the guy comes in with the black suit and the black tie, and he's like, now here's how it's going to be run. Mm-hmm. And you do what they say because they have something on you, no matter what it is. They always have something. And is that the JFK conspiracy? Who knows? But if I had to, I don't mind a woman. There's 2 women I would vote for today, and that would be Tulsi Gabbard and Candace Owens. I mean,
Candace Owens. That would be a hell of a bill. A double bill with 2 females.
Both of those women can communicate and articulate properly in an argument. They don't let their emotions get involved, and they're quick to point out a lie. which is something that I think presidents should be able to do. But I mean, I know Tulsi has aspirations, but she's no longer Democratic and she's not going to go to Republican. She's going to go with independent. I don't know if Candace does or not. I mean, they've asked her and she kind of just blows it off. I think she's happy being a mom and doesn't want to change that. But no, I don't think female or male has anything to do with a presidency if the government or the forces behind the government are still running everything.
What do you think, Russ?
I would think it'd be awesome to have a woman president, but like Donnie was saying, or what Jayla was saying, it has to be the right one. I would vote. I know two off the top of my head. I would vote for right now. Kristi Noem out of South Dakota. Awesome. She's the governor of South Dakota, and then Carrie Lake, who just got screwed out of the governorship in Arizona. 100%.
Well, there's a lot of new. There's a lot of new shit that came to light out of Maricopa County that is not looking too good for Katie Hobbs. Now, whether or not that's going to change things, it doesn't matter. At this point, it doesn't matter.
I think matter. She's
at this point, it's all about exposing the truth. And like like we said in prior shows, the two most watched races throughout all that midterm bullshit was the Fetterman and Oz race, and then Lake and Hobbs. And who lost? You know, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, they're very that county is very corrupt in Arizona. It's controlling.
Well, and they're not
their whole state.
The fact of the matter is they're not hiding what they're doing anymore.
No,
I mean,
they
it's
don't
so
have to.
out in the open. It's just it's ludicrous.
Mm-hmm. But no, I would be all for it, and I don't completely agree, Coach, with what you said about each president being worthless. I think we've had some pretty decent presidents in our history. Ronald Reagan, and y'all know how I feel about Trump. I think Trump was the reason that he got all the flack he got was he told the guy in the black suit with the briefcase to go fuck himself, and that's why they've done everything they can to cancel him.
Mean tweets.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I think a woman president would be great. There's several I would vote for. I don't care about their damn gender. I care about their policies. Hell, I'd vote for Caitlyn Jenner over Joe Biden. So, you know, if you listen to him, he's pretty articulate and conservative. I'd vote for him over Gavin Newsom for the governor in California. Can't get any worse. So I don't care what your gender is, what you identify as. It's your policy.
I cannot. You said it just now, and I just can't get over it. Because again, and we all are on the internet a bunch, but I was on the internet again, and asked me to do this because I was going to buy something, and the second question was, how do you identify yourself? Good Lord! I mean,
it's like that when you buy a gun now. It's been like that for a few years, but I mean, it's the same thing when you go to purchase a firearm over the counter. It's the same thing when you're filling out that 4473 document. That there's the question that comes up: are you male, female, non-binary? I'm like, there's only two genders. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, you can identify with all the with whatever you want. I don't care. I mean, that's the beauty of this great nation, is the fact that we have the freedom to choose, whether it's a freedom of choice out of just sheer fuckery and this, that, and the other. But there's only two genders. There's a male and a female. There's a man, there's a woman, there's a boy, there's a girl. Hell, Mr. Rogers went over that shit back when we were kids. I remember.
He had a song. He had a song on TikTok. Only girls can be mommies, and only boys can be daddies.
Yeah.
And you got to love yourself or something like that. But Donnie, what's going on in the Twitter world? Have you kept up with any of that? Is it getting any better?
It's
or more fun?
Define better. I mean, it's actually Twitter's down right now. I got a notification saying that most of Twitter is down, and Elon is aware of it. His team's working on it or whatever. But the Twitter files has been. It is probably the biggest thing that has never been covered that we've seen in a millennia. Just the way the government paid Twitter and other places to post false information, take down true information, banish people, ban them, restrict them, shadow ban them. I mean, they've literally done everything every conspiracy theorist said they were and denied it to Congress, and it's still going. I mean, now the sole function has changed to what they did with COVID. You know, it's I get it. It's dangerous to believe anything blindly. You know, that's naive of you. But if you've got all of this data now coming in, how can you not believe it? I mean, they have text messages and emails and chat bots or chat rooms, which is you know, they use like a Discord. It's not Discord, it's something of Slack. But the Slack messages. So it's going to be interesting to see if anything comes out of it. I mean, I don't think anything can come out of it until you get a change after the first of the year. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing that it's not being picked up as much as it was or should be. I think Yahoo is one of the first major outlets that's covering it. You have some smaller places like New York Times and things like that, but Yahoo was the first one that actually started covering it. And they found a research paper from 2012 where Fauci argued that gain of function research is worth the risk of a potential lab accident pandemic because, you know, it gives us important work. But he wrote this and you know, he said that he's never felt that way. So, but why did it take him 2 years to find this paper? I mean, it wasn't like it was hiding. So it'll be interesting. I mean, I think we're in for a rocky ride over the next month and a half with some leaks and stuff like that from the Twitter area. I think Elon steps down at some point. He said he would. I have no reason to doubt him. But it's a matter of setting up, and I think he always wanted to. I don't think he wants to run that company. But he wants to make sure that whoever he picks is competent and is with standards beyond reproach. Like, you're not going to go in and bribe that guy and get what you need out of it. But I think it'll be a profitable company in 3 months. I mean, they're already changing the way advertising works, and that's huge. So we'll see.
Wow. J-Love?
Yes.
Anything on the Twitter face you saw?
No, not lately. I'm just pissed off that I can't stare at tits. They keep censoring, you know, it. I go to look at a chick's picture and it says the content you're trying to view is may be sensitive. You need to change your settings. So I changed my settings, but still nothing. So I'm like, what the fuck? But that's because you got to pay that $8 or whatever it is, $11. They changed it now.
So they're like Pornhub. You can get the free stuff, but if you want the good stuff, you got to pay extra.
Yeah, exactly. I know that there's new stuff dropping, you know, left and right. I mean, the latest, of course, is everyone's waiting on the Fauci files. Whether or not that is ever going to come to light. I mean, it is what it is. Like Donnie said, I mean, there was documentation of him back in, you know, as early as as late as 2012, but there was stuff from him from a bone age
in the 70s.
Yeah, decades ago, of him just him and Bill Gates are one and the same, except just one's a gazillionaire and the other one is, you know, a wannabe. Yeah, he's made a shit ton of money the past few years, let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Fauci, but I never trusted him from the beginning. I never trusted the plan. I never trusted the whole you know, 13 days, you know, to flatten the curve bullshit. I mean, I never listened to a single fucking word that they said. I was one of those that went against the grain. I still go against the grain. That was a big to do in my prior career. It began to become so political that it be almost going into work to a, you know, a Gestapo type outfit. And I'm like, no, I'm not having this, and I'm not having my crew have this. So I said, this just ain't gonna happen. So when when you begin to question everything, those that are in power, quote unquote, become extremely defensive. And every little thing that is questioned, you have an attitude problem, or you just defy authority. Well, fuck yeah, I defy authority a lot, but then at the same time, I have to question it and find out. Okay, is this good, bad? I said, how is this going to affect me? How's it going to affect my family? How's this going to affect my coworkers? This, that, and the other. So there's so many questions that would loom, and it just got to the point that I'm like, man, this is fucking stupid. This is beyond idiotic. And then now I'm on the outside looking in, and it's like, I tried to tell you, but no one listened. And you've got those that play the Napoleon complex and this, that, and the other, and they have a hard time admitting when they were wrong. And I mean, I'm wrong a lot. I'll be honest, I'm wrong a lot. I'll admit it. I have I have no problem admitting that, yeah, I fucked that up. So, but it's just funny. And I know that as time goes on with all this bullshit, that I mean, I've already lost some friends. I've lost some family. It's over just bullshit.
Y'all hear that? Somebody's phone's going.
No, I don't hear it.
No, you probably got a tumor.
Not a tumor.
Oh, whoa! Y'all don't hear that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, here it is. My bad. I'm telling you, those gummies are fucking for real.
Okay. And here we go. This is where the show takes a downward spiral.
No, come on, man. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. If you get a chance, go Google right now. It's one of the top stories. Google Sofia Vergara bikini picture. Oh my God, that chick is already upper 40s, and Lord of
50.
mercy, she looks amazing. I mean, fucking amazing. Hey,
is she still with that
racism.
douche canoe from Magic Mike 2? Is she still with that guy? I mean, he's a good looking dude, I'll be honest. I mean, if we did a fuck
I
Mary
don't know.
Kill and he was one of them, I'd probably fuck that dude.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. Racism, bro. I like the racism. That's what's that show called? Russell.
Family Guy.
Yeah, I like the racism, bro. I'm asking, man, because I don't know, dude. I don't. It's like, is it still a big deal? Is it racism? Is it sexism? Or is it that shit that you can't, like, we can't say gay on air, or I can't say queer? Like, what right now is like the most important thing going on right now in our world that you can tell?
Repeat that.
Like, what is taking the forefront right now? Because I think about this shit every day because I live in it.
You mean,
is it racism, sexism? Or is it, the way we talk and communicate to people? Like, what's the pulse of America right now? Where are they? What are we seeing? What's the most?
The pulse of America is very weak because we're a bunch of weak ass little bitches who tend to get offended over fucking everything, and I'm beyond over that. And, I know how certain things we have to say and certain things we have to do, but why? I mean, that's not freedom of speech. That's not freedom of speech at all.
Right.
And I always go back to when you opened it up with racism. I always go back to Morgan Freeman when Mike Wallace asked him, is there such thing as racism? And he's like, no. He goes, and then he said something to the effect. He says, well, how do we stop it? He goes, well, just keep your fucking mouth shut. Shut up. Don't talk about it. And I mean, to an extent, he's got a very valid point. I mean, we're talking about Speed Reader from Electric Company here. Fucking Morgan Freeman. He was, if I had anyone to narrate my life, it would be that dude. And it's just, he's he's wise beyond his years, and I've got many black friends, and I grew up before I moved here. I grew up in a barrio. It was predominantly Mexican and blacks. There was very few whites, very few whites. So the majority of my friends were all black, if not Hispanic. I moved here the summer of '88, and it was the first time in my life that I had ever heard the word nigger used racially.
Okay.
It was the first time I had moved here. I was sitting in homeroom class. There was these two cowboy redneck shit kickers, whatever you want to call them, and they were talking. And this individual just so happened to be a friend of mine. And they said something along the lines of like, we're gonna get that fucking blah blah blah. And I just stopped, and I turned, and I said, "What?" And they repeated it. I said, "You're talking about my friend. Well, if you're friends with him, then you're a zigger lover." And I was floored. I went home, or I came home, and talked to my dad, and I was literally, I was hurt. I was crying. I'm 14, and I'm like, what is going on? I said, what the fuck is going on here? And he says, boy, you're not in the Midwest anymore. This is the South. And I'm like, well, it's not the deep South, like Tennessee and Georgia, that kind of thing. But it took me back, and it took me a while to grasp that. And it's funny that a black man can call another black man a nigga, but if a white person, Hispanic person, Asian person, whatever the case may be, they do it, it's racist. How in the fuck is that racist? I mean, honestly, you are putting down your own people.
Well, who was it? What player or whatever was it that got fired for singing a song and using the word?
Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, Morgan Wallen did the same thing. He was singing. It was in a song. So I mean,
you're talking about the kid from
football
Florida?
player.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, same thing. Yeah.
There was a receiver for Philly that did that at a concert, like at a Kenny Chesney. What was it? White dude receiver for Philly a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna put it in a song, I can't sing that song. I can sing the whole song, but I can't say that word. So anyway, I mean, I understand that one word, and I understand.
But a rap song can say it every other word.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what I mean.
It makes.
I understand the word, and I understand what we talk about, because we talked about it also together, but individually. I've had talks with Russell and Donnie, and we've talked about using those words which we used to deem normal. Now they're not. Like the special ed kid, the special needs kids. That's what you got to call them now. You can't use the R word. I understand not using the R word when you're talking about a person or a kid, like that, like Russell's such an N word or Donnie's such a, R word or whatever. I understand that. But in just talking, if you're just having an intelligent conversation, especially if you're going to use those words in your songs and you're going to get rich on it. Anyway, I was listening to, and you're right. I was listening to Nick Saban. I've heard this 1,000 times, but he said it again. He goes, the problem with this, with the transfer portal, not even the NIL, the transfer portal, and now these kids are getting ribbons and rings and everything when they're 7 years old at the Little League, and is these kids have no idea what failure is, how to overcome failure, how to pick themselves up from it. Or when there's the slightest push, all they do is run. They don't know how to overcome it. Parents and teachers and coaches aren't teaching them how to do that, because now you can go from one school to another school, and you can even do that at the high school level. I mean, I've got close friends, and their kids, they've gone from one school to another school, searching for the starting job or the brass ring or whatever. But I think even starting from the grassroots, that's what's making these kids, and well, not kids anymore. Now they're fucking 20-year-olds that are trying to run the world. You
Young
know,
adults.
you got to be very careful because they're very sensitive of what you say. Like,
Well, this was, Coach. This was all done. This is all done by design. It all ties together. So they make words offensive. You talk about racism. You talk about what words you can say. You go back to say 2007 in this country, and we had gotten so far past race in this country. And then what happens? We elect Barack Obama, and immediately everything becomes about race. And you look, 15 years later, and that's the biggest. It's racism this, racism that. Oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. They all do it as a means of suppressing your freedom of speech. They do it as a means of control. So being politically correct, talking about racism, talking about, just like the Twitter thing we were just talking about. It's
right.
all to suppress your free speech, because if they can suppress your free speech, they can take your freedoms. When you can't talk about it and there's no pushback, and you can't say certain things, and look at what they're doing with, if you have a political view, if you're an athlete and you say, hey, I support Trump, it's a controversy, right?
Right.
Oh, you're evil. They're doing it as a means of control, because they're trying to control the narrative and take away your freedoms. And it's all ties together. You can't even have a discussion with somebody that thinks that way. They just yell at you and get offended and try to cancel you. You can't even have a debate in this country anymore. You can't say certain things. You can't do certain things because they're suppressing your freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And it's all about control.
Yeah.
So, why can't you say the word gay? Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with the word gay. I think queer is a worse word than gay, but let's be honest. I saw a thing.
But let's not be queer about it. Yeah.
Right. I saw this thing on TikTok the other day.
Oh, no.
And it was a comedian. And this time last year, the big deal was, they wanted to cancel Baby It's Cold Outside. But while the number one song is Cardi B, Wet Ass Pussy. And, that's where we're at as a country right now. That's how stupid things are. You can't say Baby It's Cold Outside is a sexist song.
Well, and
it's
everybody's priorities are just fucked.
But I think Donnie said it. I think Donnie, you said it 3 or 4 weeks ago when we talked about it. We were talking about these kids coming up trying to attack Shapiro on all this stuff, and you said it yourself. I think it was you said you can't have a conversation with a liberal because whatever you say is, if you don't agree with them, then you are absolutely wrong.
Well, it's not
And they attack you, right?
You're absolutely labeled. Their big thing isn't to attack your position. They'll label you as a X, misogynist, xenophobe, homophobe, whatever. They don't care about the argument itself. They care about you submitting to their opinion, which is based on, maybe it's based on facts and their opinion, but they're still skewing it. So the problem with having that conversation, and I've got some liberal friends that I can actually sit down and talk to. When I was in Florida, I ate dinner with a good friend of mine, and he's a liberal, and we were able to have conversations and debate ideas. I agreed with some of the things he said. He agreed with some of the things I said, but neither one of us changed our position. But most of the time, it doesn't work like that. Today's big thing with racism and reparations is, reparations should be done because the United States has made so many trillions of dollars on the backs of slavery, but yet nobody talks about the Congo right now. I don't hear anybody talking about it. It's literally the highest profit margin for slavery ever. Not even close. I think they said that they're going to end up doing hundreds of trillions of dollars in the next 5 years, mining cobalt out of the DRC. And these people are slaves. Not only are they slaves, they are enslaved by the Chinese government. They're working for $1 a day with zero to, nothing for clothes in cobalt dust, which is toxic, and you have child labor, you have people bringing their babies, like you have everything, but nobody wants to talk about that. They want to talk about the government made so much money off of the backs of these people. Guess what? Every industry right now, we couldn't have this conversation right now without cobalt, because Russ is on his phone. I have a camera. I have a microphone. All those things have cobalt in them. Your car, anything that has anything to do with lithium ion has some form of cobalt in it.
Yeah.
And as we go forward, the cobalt is going to exponentially increase. So, but you don't hear anything about that. I mean, Joe Rogan picked it up, I think this week. There's an author that has a book coming out, Siddharth Kara or something like that. But I've seen it for years. And I even said something, Congo is one of the biggest travesties we have right now, and nobody's talking about it. Like, because it's China.
Well, because it doesn't fit the narrative.
Well,
Right.
and because it's China. Like, don't piss off the Chinese. Like,
Right.
people have asked LeBron about it in interviews, and he's just like, yeah. And you'll ask a corporation about it, and they're like, oh, no. Our cobalt is all mined through machines. That's incorrect. There's less than 1%
Exactly.
all cobalt that's mined by machines. Everything else is hand mined. The Congo has more cobalt in this one little, I think it's like a 100-mile square plot than the rest of the world combined. So tell me how you're going to, you got pits out there with kids in them, and they're going to die or have side effects in 5 years. Like, it sucks. But the way they argue is just to label you and give you a label, and then they'll run with the label. I don't
It's
have
about
to
control.
I don't have to
it's all
talk to you
about-
because you're a misogynist. I don't have to talk to you because you're a turf.
That's right.
Mhm.
So it's just a bad way of communicating.
Dude, these kids, I just
Extremely
brought
bad.
it up, and there are hundreds upon hundreds of women and children on the sides of these rivers,
Gonna lose y'all?
mining those the cobalt.
The DRC.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, it is absolutely stunning to see how many, and they're doing this so they can put them in batteries. That's crazy. But it still really bothers me. And I know what we're gonna try, what we want to be, and we want to do with this. And so we do have to mind our P's and Q's somewhat. But it's just fucking ridiculous that I can't say. And it happened in the other podcast when I was talking to what's his dumbass Tristan, and which Tristan ain't here. Get better, Tristan. We miss you. That was gay. Anyway, I said
And here
they're
we go.
queer. I said queer, and Tristan just dying laughing. He said, "Man, we got to be careful." I said, "Man, it's just not that. Queer for me can be different.
Well, and the fact of the matter is, again,
Gay can be different.
I'm completely against that whole fucking words hurt, bullshit. I mean, if words hurt you, then change the fucking channel. You have that choice. Don't listen. I mean, it's like Larry Flint said years ago. You don't want to read my magazine, then don't fucking read it, or don't look.
But they're teaching that now, even in the college level. They're teaching it. Professors are teaching that shit.
Every level.
And it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. It really is. We have dumbed down this society so much that we are beyond. I'm not saying that we're not beyond repair, because certain things can be repaired, certain things can be rebirthed, regrown, however you want to look at it. But come on, people. I mean, lighten the fuck up. Either sack it the fuck up or pack it the fuck up. That's the way I look at it. And it's real fucking simple. You're going back to the R word. Go back to the early '80s TV series In the Heat of the Night. Sidney Poitier and Carol O'Connor. One of the best scenes ever concerning the R word. It involved fucking rape and incest, but then at the same time, it involved the fucking R word.
Well, you can also go back to probably one of all of our most favorite movies. One of our, I'm sure once I say it, you cannot show this movie now anywhere. You can't make a movie like this. Blazing Saddles. I mean,
for sure. They would be lynched trying to make that movie today or release it. You know, the closest that they fucking got with anything to that nature was Gran Torino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Uh,
close
was-
to it.
I don't know.
You know,
I
and
think,
even then, that was still pretty tame.
I think Tropic Thunder has it beat.
Yeah.
Like Tropic Thunder literally took every stereotype and every bad word and put them into one movie. And it turned out a really funny movie that's still going on. And you know, every person in that movie is thinking, God, I could be canceled at any minute just because of this. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. said it, you know, Ben Stiller said it, and Ben was the director. It was his idea. It was his puppy. But he's like, I'm surprised that nobody from that movie
Well,
got
and
canceled.
then his fucking other character in the movie, what was his name? Simple Jack or whatever.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, you gotta, again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, that movie came out in what, 08?
I believe so.
What are we fucking
Things
doing?
Things have changed so much in the last 15 years in regards to being politically correct. You can't even, they couldn't make that movie today because they've pushed it so far. It's going to blow up in their face eventually. And that's what it's going to take to overcome it. But, you know, you couldn't make Tropic Thunder today.
I mean, I hope so. I was thinking about this because I heard Rogan say it once, and I know all you guys are big Rogan fans. But if you think about it, dude, it wasn't but like 3 humans ago. Like, think about this: 3 humans ago, it was when our forefathers took out a big long piece of paper, lit some candles, got a feather, and wrote the Constitution and signed their names on it. They did it in the dark with fucking feathers and ink. And that was only 3 humans ago. Like 1787, it was actually 3, maybe 4 humans ago, but 3 or 4 humans ago. And when he said that, I was like, holy shit. It blew my mind. Of course, I was high. But it was still, I was like, damn, that was just like right there, you know, like 3 humans ago. And then, you know, we think, man, we can overcome, we could do different. And I'm like, no, I don't believe you. But then you think about Elvis. When Elvis came out and they were trying to ban him, like just to take pictures of him from the waist up, and his music was evil and all that shit, you know what I mean? That type of stuff.
I don't know what I missed.
But we overcame it. We went from, you know, people trying to shut down Elvis and rock and roll music to now we've got, you know, that golf satanic yelling music that you can play on the radio and sing wherever you want. So, I mean, I'm with you, Russ. I'm holding off for hope. But it's just amazing. It amazes me how far we've gone. Just from the times that me and you played football.
It's amazing to me the changes that I've seen just in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Because all the advances that you're talking about really have happened in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have cable growing up. We had an antenna.
Have internet.
There was no internet. I mean,
No cell
I'll
phones.
tell you, it was funny. I remember flying on my first flight at 17-year-old to California by myself. How'd I get a ticket? I was like, damn, I can't remember how I got that ticket. I had to call a travel agent and they had to get the ticket. Then I got to the airport, checked in, got my bags, didn't even get my ticket till I got to the gate. Like, and you could literally walk up. The people that met me in California walked to my gate. Hey, Donnie, you're here. That doesn't happen anymore. Like, and it doesn't for reasons, but now when I want to get on a plane, buy my ticket, probably buy it with my phone, get to the gate, get to everywhere, and just show them my phone. I don't have a ticket. That's just there it is.
Well, it's just the dumbing down of society in as a whole. It's made everyone so impersonal that there is no interaction between individuals anymore. Everything is done electronically, because it makes things easier.
Yeah, I mean, your social skills are going out the window What you
Oh, yeah.
should be doing is not taking advantage of those social skills, but also using this opportunity to learn more, because there's more data out there and more information now than there's ever been in any human lifetimes times 10.
Right. This just in, just to let y'all know that Jayhawks erased a 24-point deficit and tied it up 38-38.
They're going to
And it's now
overtime.
going to overtime.
Rock
That's
Cog Jayhawks.
I told
That's
you.
right. I heard that.
I told you it's just my luck. You go to my podcast, go to my Pick'em podcast, go to the Real Game, and I told everybody, if you want to make a living, if you want to make a mint, if you want to get rich within the next week or two, go to Coach's Called Out Store, go to the menu button, hit the Discord, join the Discord, follow me. Bet exact opposite of what the fuck I pick. The exact opposite, and you will become rich upon your wildest dream. Even though I went 2-2 last night, yeah, it's. We were talking about within our lifetime, Donnie. I mean, it was just like Elvis and the moon, and then when I was driving, we didn't even use seatbelt. Like there weren't even
Well, the moon
seatbelts in
landing,
the
that never
fucking
happened.
cars. I mean, you wanted to start your truck and it wouldn't start. You just roll it a little bit and pop the clutch, and you can go to work. Do that. I was driving when I was 13 years old. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have dick.
We're the last generation. I mean, the individuals on this show right now. I mean, not including Tristan because he's just a baby compared to us. But we are the last generation to know what it's like to not have these luxuries, to drink from a garden hose. To our curfew was when the street lights came on, and there was no there was no way of contacting us. I mean, when your mother or your father yelled for you, and you brought your ass inside. But the funny thing is, my mom could yell my name out the window or out the door. I could be 4 fucking blocks away, but I heard her ass, and I'd fucking come running my ass home. It's so different now. It's just there are luxuries. Let's be honest. I mean, we all have these things.
Yeah, but you remember
at our disposal.
Back when we were growing up, and this is just one story of my childhood. I was maybe freshman, 8th grade, freshman, sophomore. I was young back then. We go out and we're deer hunting. We're out there. I mean, we're out a ways. When we're out deer hunting, we shoot a couple deer. We're fixing to come home. Well, one guy gets stuck. If we're trying to pull him out, well, both of us get stuck. Well, it's already dark and we're way the hell out there. We don't have phones. We don't have shit. And it's cold. So what we got to do, figure out how to build a fire. We go ahead and we skin that fucking buck and we cut a hind quarter off of it. We build a fire, put the meat on the fire. We have something to eat. We build a fire. We take the chairs, the seats out of our trucks, put them around the fire, and we're fine. Get up the next morning, we're fine. Go to the next, find somebody down the road, or dad or somebody will come find you because you're late, but you're just fine. These kids nowadays, some of them would fucking die. Yep. I mean, they couldn't find their way home from fucking school 2 blocks away. Well, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous. And you're talking about the social skills. I see it every fucking day. These kids are scared to fucking talk to anybody. They walk around. They walk around everywhere, around town, around school, and they're just fucking scared to death. But then they get on their fucking games and they start playing with somebody from fucking China, and they're somebody completely different.
Well, what's even worse than that is when you go to, say a restaurant, social gathering, something to that nature, and you have a table full of individuals. Every one of those individuals at that table are on their phones.
Oh, yeah.
Most of them are interacting with each other at that same fucking table via text message. I'm like, dude, you're fucking 2 foot across from that other person. Put your fucking phone down and talk. I mean, how illiterate have we become? Well, maybe that's not a good choice of words. Maybe it's just we've become so socially dependent, electronically dependent. Maybe
Sure.
that's a better choice.
Yeah.
Well, to kind of not even change the subject, but the biggest threat to our national security, and most people, probably not us, because we're more of a primal generation. We could get by without these things. We would know how to survive. But if China or Russia or one of these countries decided to drop an EMP in the middle of the country and shut down all electronics for an extended amount of time, how many millions of people under the age of 30 would not be able to survive and die? It
Oh
would
yeah.
be pure chaos.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was
Yeah.
I was explaining this. My son, we were playing Legos, and I built him an airplane with the Legos, and I said, he's like, mine's got a rocket. I said, well, I've got an EMP. He's like, what's an EMP? And I just started trying to explain it to him. Obviously, he didn't get it, but because he's 5. But that is literally half of the country wouldn't survive not being able to drive their car, not being able to turn their TV on, not having a cell phone, how to get food, how to get water. They wouldn't have any idea. I guarantee you, there's half this country that know you can't just get water out of a pond and drink it. You have to boil it. You know, there's things like Coach was saying. Yeah, you get stuck, you figure it out. You go into survive. They couldn't do it, and
No.
and that so the biggest attack and threat to this country is not a nuclear bomb. It's an EMP. Shutting down our electronics and our electrical grid would destroy this country.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know when we have these, and Donnie, I'm gonna let you go here in just a second, but you know when we have the snow days and everybody, you don't know what you're gonna do, or the hurricanes and shit. What do people go do? They go get water and they get toilet paper. They're so fucking worried about toilet paper, dude. I'll tell you what, and this is my number one worry when shit's fixing to
Operation
happen.
Mockingbird.
Beer. Do I have enough fucking
Yeah.
beer to last this whole fucking to last through whatever we're doing? Everybody else is worried about fucking toilet paper. You can wash your ass with water. You don't need fucking toilet paper. Fuck
Yeah.
that. Go ahead, Donnie. Sorry.
I mean, like Russell was saying, the big difference is though you don't need an EMP to do it. I mean, there's 9 major stations for electric on the electric grid throughout the US. If you hit 4 of those, most of the nation is down because the other 5 can't keep up with the power.
Mhm.
You're going to see in the next 3 years, rolling blackouts are going to be the thing. That is going to be the bad thing that's going to be happening. And
To
it's
conserve.
it's because we're using more electricity now than we've ever used in any human life. But the problem is we haven't increased our output. Our output's
Exactly.
still
Well, look
where
at
it was
California.
in the 80s.
But we're still going to
Well,
use
they won't
electric cars, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not
Okay.
just California. We had it in Tennessee over the weekend. I mean, and our mayor is dumb enough Nashville mayor is dumb enough. He's like, well, I've asked the Titans to cancel the game. Well, they moved it back an hour, but in reality, they have capacitors and their own generators there. So it's like Elon doesn't need,
No.
the Austin grid. He can self-sustain. But that's the thing that people don't realize. Like every time you buy a new electronic piece, you're tapping into the grid that is already stressed to the max. And until we get more stations that are producing power, it's not going to get any better.
Well,
That's why
but-
I'm building
but
as
the-
off
what-
grid as possible.
The frustrating thing about that, Donnie, is we have the infrastructure, we have the technology to do it, but what they won't allow you to do anymore, and we're doing it to ourselves, like in California, you can't build any more reservoirs, you can't build a nuclear power plant, you can't build a new electrical plant. So because of all these EPA restrictions and all this environmental bullshit, all of a sudden now you can't have electricity. And you're right, it's going to get overloaded because the population's growing too much. There's too much electrical output, and they won't allow you to increase your output anymore. So
No.
yeah, you're right.
It's going to get worse.
And it's all,
I mean,
all in the name of climate change.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm still going to run my gas powered vehicle because we're still going to be running gas powered vehicles for quite a while, and it's just we are not ready to completely just like the current administration is. I mean, if we could flip a switch, we'd be all electric tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. I mean, it takes time. And will we eventually do it? Yeah, I'm sure we will, but I don't think in my lifetime. Definitely not in mine.
No.
Well, I
Um,
have a I
it-
have a good liberal friend of mine, and we were talking about this, and um, we were talking about how it should be electric cars, should be electric cars. And I said, were you not here 2 years ago during the snowpocalypse?
yeah,
You
Yeah.
couldn't. Nobody had any fucking power. You're
Yeah.
going to get in your little Prius and you're going to go somewhere? No. But my ass got in my 4-wheel drive truck, put it in 4-wheel low, and drove 60 miles to get where I needed to go because I could do that. But you can't do that in an electric car because you can't charge it. You can't do it in a fucking Prius because you ain't got a 4-wheel drive. Or you'll get
right.
stranded and die on the side of the road and freeze to death.
Mhm.
It's just so stupid. We don't have the infrastructure. We don't have the technology. And the electric cars use more natural resources than any internal combustion engine, period. And that's how
Yep.
stupid they are. And they don't know it.
Yep.
And they just believe everything they're fed to them.
Those sheeples.
The sheeples.
Damn.
So,
The sheeples.
Very
sheeples,
true.
bro.
I'm telling you. Hey, where was this thing? I had this ready for you guys. The jaded cowboy. Where's J Love? J Love, here you are. Hey,
Yes, I'm looking at the score. Fucking Arkansas just scored again.
that's all right.
So in overtime, in college, they just play it out.
No,
Back and forth from the 20.
Yes.
Both
Can't
teams
go
get a
for two
chance
after
to
the second
score.
overtime.
Until time runs out, right?
No. Until
No.
somebody wins. Until somebody can't score. So like Kansas got the ball.
Okay, I'm tracking.
Kansas got the ball. They scored a touchdown. Arkansas got the ball. They scored a touchdown. Arkansas got it again. They scored. Now
Okay.
Kentucky has to punch it in.
So tell me about your Christmas, guys. We're almost we're only an hour into it, but I told you my Christmas. I didn't have one. I didn't see family. I didn't do anything. I was asleep. Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, the whole 9 yards. I didn't get to see my daughter. I didn't get to do anything. So I'm gonna have to make all that up here probably next week. J-Love, how was your Christmas, brother?
It was quiet. Didn't do a lot. Didn't go anywhere. Spent time with friends. That's always the highlight for me. And then of course, watching my kids' faces Christmas morning.
Yeah.
Staying up till fucking 2:30 putting shit together, and it was fucking crazy. And then waking up at 6:30, it's like, motherfucker, let me sleep a little bit. And the fucked up thing is my youngest, we got him hoverboards and these little things that you strap on to the hoverboards to make them like a ride along little scooter thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Hover around, whatever the fuck it is. Well, bought him a brand new hoverboard. Straight out the box, the fucking thing was on. I mean, it wouldn't shut off. I mean, one of the foot pedals, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this thing? So my 13-year-old Mr. fucking smarts a lot over there. He's like, Dad, it won't charge because it won't turn off. I'm like, what? He's like, see, look at this and this. I said, I don't care if it's just, I need to know yes or no. Do I need to get a new one? And day after Christmas, here I am 3 and 4 Walmarts later trying to find a fucking hoverboard. And I'm telling my young one, I'm like, man, I think the L's were either overworked or just they got their wires crossed because this one don't work. And he's like, yeah, right, motherfucker. So here I am, the 4th Walmart later, finally find one. And then of course I didn't have the receipt. So when I go to exchange it, or they're like, well, do you have the receipt? I'm like, that was a Christmas gift. No, I don't. Walmart's gotten smart, so they only give you X amount of what it was. It rang. I paid for it. It was stickered at $199. I paid $119 for it.
Oh wow.
When I went to exchange it, I only got $75 back. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And she goes, well, without the receipt, you can only get X amount. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
this is bullshit. So I was out of pocket some money, but he's happy. All's good at the Love Shack. A lot of fucking drinking.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, me and a few buddies ended up at Ronnie's One Oak Christmas night.
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit.
Oh my
That,
gosh.
I mean, if any of you could have been a fly on the wall, it was a gut splitting good time. I mean, there were so many fucking laughs, and it was insane. But Ken Hicks, I bought him a bottle of Woodford for Christmas, and he brought it in, still sealed. But then when we were leaving, he was like, bro, he goes, the fucking bottle's gone. I said, what? And I looked down, the whole fucking bottle was gone. And I mean, I brought in a bottle of fucking rot gut because I wasn't going to use my good shit at Ronnie's One Oak.
Right.
So, and then that one was almost gone. And it was like, how the fuck are we getting home? So we're both fucking just wide-eyed going down 1441 to fucking Highway 20. I was like, dude, you just got to get me to the Legion, and then I'm good. But it was a good time, man. Definitely a good time.
Russ,
a lot of football watching.
Russ, what happened over there in Waco?
Belton, but
Belton.
man, it was kind of like J-Lo said, pretty quiet. Saturday, Christmas Eve was awesome because the Cowboys beat the Sheagles, so that was good.
The only one because Jalen Hurts wasn't playing.
Well, they beat Cooper Rush earlier in the year. So, anyways, but yeah, that was cool. It's a good game. My kids
I won money off y'all, by the way, because I went for y'all. I was like, yeah, Cowboys are going to win this one. So I made money off you, so thank you.
Good. I'm glad. My kids had a good Christmas. I got to spend it with both my son and my daughter. That was cool. I came back from interesting little story. I came back from Belton Monday morning. Of course, we had this super cold weather here. Came back to Bastrop to find a couple of busted pipes and a messed up toilet in my RV. I let my dad and my uncle come hunt down here at this place that I'm at, and I told them before they got here that there was an antler restriction.
Good story right here.
Long story short, they were a little short, and so they asked me what to do. I said, tag it and go home. If you get a fine, you get a fine. But anyways, but I let my dad stay in the camper while my uncle hunted. And I told him, I said, hey, I already drained the pipes and I turned the water off. And he's like, okay. So I guess all this went down. My uncle shoots the deer. They panic and leave.
Oh, no.
And he didn't turn the water back off and drain the pipes. So busted pipes, went to use the restroom with the step on the little foot pedal in the camper. That motherfucker broke. So I've been spending the last couple days repairing my camper from frozen pipes.
That sucks.
So Merry fucking
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Donnie, what'd you do over there in Tennessee, bub?
Mine was pretty uneventful. I was able to see the boys for a couple hours. Got to feed them some steak. They gave them their first Wagyu steak for Christmas. That's going to be my new tradition.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, man.
They're pretty excited. They were like, "Oh my gosh," But not a big Christmas just because. Heck, until the last minute, I didn't know if I was going to see them. I mean, originally it was supposed to be 1 to 6, then it got pushed, and I was like, you know what, just cancel. I'll just get them on the 28th. I was supposed to get them today, but I'm sick. And then at like 1 a.m., she's like, I'll message you at like 8:30. And then it turned out at 9:30, and I could pick them up at 10. So I had them from 10 to 2 or 10 to 1. But at least I got to see them. I mean, that's all that matters. But other than that, it was a pretty blasé Christmas for me.
I got you. Anybody got any what the fuck moments that happened to him this weekend?
I just gave you mine.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good what the fuck.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So yeah, I got sick. Let's see. It was first it was me. Now it's my wife, and I think now it's one of her kids is fixing to fixing to hit the schneid also. But
That's crazy, man.
guys, I know it
Everybody's
was
sick.
not much going on tonight. I really want
Well,
to touch
there
on.
was there was a lot of shit that we were sending through the thread that we could have talked about, but we'd be here a long fucking
Yeah,
time.
it'd be a long time, dude. I do want to. I haven't had time. I want to talk about this Matrix, man, because now that's got me kind of fucked up. Thinking about it every day, like is there a me? Is there a me somewhere 3 seconds ago that did the same thing that I'm doing, and it's just
That's what they
kind
call
of
deja vu.
Well, and the deja vu is pretty cool because the consciousness is what gives you your deja vu. It's not like
Mhm.
it's not like you know when you get deja vu, you're like, no, I couldn't have ever been in this moment before. I haven't lived this yet. And it's definitely not the past because here I am. But deja vu revolves around the same principles that if, atoms exist, they can exist in multiple places at one time, then yeah, deja vu is an easy thing that you could be seeing into a different multiverse, universe, timeline, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But it's getting a lot more play in the public eye now. I mean, heck, Tate talked about it with Piers, and
Yeah.
I was shocked on that. But that turned out to be a very, very good interview.
It
And
was.
Piers got his ass handed to him multiple
Mhm.
times,
He didn't-
including in chess, which was fucking amazingly hilarious. Like it was so funny to see Piers just get humbled, because he goes, "Oh, that's a decent opening. It's not a winning opening." And then, Tate just sets up the perfect trap for him, and he loses his queen like, I don't know, first 10 plays, and he's like,
Mhm.
well, I mean, the
Yeah.
queen's not that important." And I'm like, oh, bullshit, dude. Like, you just lost a queen to a pawn, man. Like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, his dad was a world champion chess player. And
Oh
so,
yeah. It
I
was
thought it
it
was
was fun.
I know we don't agree with everything about the guy. Uh, Russ always prefaces with that, so I want to make sure I say that too. We don't agree with everything, but this dude was asked. He goes, "What do you do?" or something about if you break up with your girl. Oh, if you break up with your girl and your girl hooks up with one of your friends, would you take her back?
We're
And
talking
he
about
goes, "Well,
Tate.
yeah." He goes, "Well, number one, we're talking about Andrew Tate, right?"
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, good. Fuck, I thought y'all lost me. It's good shit. So he said, he goes, "Well, number one, that would never happen to me." They're like, "What do you mean?" "Well, the people I roll with, my guys would never fucking hit on any of my ex women. Like
Right.
that's just a no, that's a no fucking brainer, man. It's just not gonna, that doesn't happen to guys like me because I pick my guy, the guys that I roll with, we don't roll like that. That's not how we
Yeah.
roll. It's a different thing. You're rolling with bitches." He goes, if that happens to you, then you're rolling with bitches. You ain't rolling with the right bros. That's your
Sure.
fucking problem. I'm a man. I roll with men. And then he went on a whole other tangent. And they just like, "Oh, all right, well, fuck. We're not even in your world." I thought that was pretty
Second
cool.
overtime, and it's 53-53.
Yep.
Don't
Shit.
worry, you'll win, dude. I told you. I bet Arkansas, you'll win. I'm telling you, it's fade. What do I call? What did I call it on the Discord? Fade the coach bowl mania week. That's what I called it. Fade the coach bowl mania week.
Texas Tech. It popped up on ESPN. Texas Tech just took an intentional delay a game in honor of Mike Leach.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
That dude was a stud.
Yeah, that's still fucking crazy. Still fucking crazy.
Very
All right,
sad.
boys. Well, I'm
Okay,
all
so
out of
I got a fuck Mary kill from
right now.
Last
female
week.
female
Let's
rock
go.
stars from the 80s.
Let's do it.
As they were then.
Okay.
Even though they're still fucking hot
As
now,
they were
but-
then. Okay, from the 80s. Go ahead.
So Samantha Fox,
Samantha Fox. Go ahead.
Lita Ford,
Lita
and
Ford.
Susanna Hoffs.
And
What
who?
was the last one?
Susanna Hoffs from the Bengals.
Oh, the lead singer?
Correct.
Oh, that's easy. Jeez. No, but I mean, seriously, it's easy. Here we go. Let me see. Whoever's ready, go ahead.
I'll go. I'm gonna kill Samantha Hoffs. Like, she never did it for me. I was not
Samantha
a
Hoffs or Samantha Fox?
Hoffs.
You mean
That's what you
Susanna
said, right?
Hoffs.
Susanna.
Susanna Hoffs?
Yeah,
From
Susanna.
the Bengals.
Susanna. She
Okay.
never did it for me. Like, I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the band either. So, then I'll move over and I'll bang Lita just because I don't know. She always seemed like she was crazy enough that if you ever married her, like, she might just bring home somebody more dangerous than her. And then I'd marry Samantha Fox. I mean, it was she had a few good albums and a decent career. So as they were then, yeah, I'll take Samantha Fox.
Go ahead, Russ.
Well, as a musician, Lita Ford is definitely my favorite, but unfortunately, she's just not that attractive to me. So that bitch got to die. I'm gonna fuck Susanna Hoffs, and I'm gonna marry Samantha Fox. She's an absolute smoke show.
Really?
I
don't think so. I think you're looking.
I would probably, I would agree with Russ in regards to killing Lita. I mean, I love the Runaways. It's where it all started. But I mean, my first crush was Joan Jett. So I mean, that says anything. Kill Lita, fuck Samantha, marry Susanna, because she's still beautiful. Still.
Yeah, I'm. See, the thing with the Lita, and I mean, she's a guitar player, dude. I gotta sit there and play a little bit with her. I mean, I can't kill her. So, I mean, just by pure proxy or whatever you want to call it, I gotta kill Samantha. Out of respect, I gotta fuck Lita Ford, just out of pure respect. And I'm gonna marry Susanna because she's always done it for me. I'm complete opposite of Donnie. She has always done it for me. I have been walking like an Egyptian just because of her my entire fucking life, boys.
Yeah, me too. I've had a King Tut from the beginning.
And unfortunately, I had to make Lita Ford close her eyes forever.
Oh.
Russ did it. Russ, you did it, guys.
Nailed it.
Appreciate you being on. Next week, I know we'll all be a little bit better, a little less sick, a little more enthusiastic, but I appreciate you guys being on. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Whiskey and Wisdom After Dark with Coach Z, Russ, J-Love, and Donnie. Tristan ain't here. He's sick, so let's wish him well. Hopefully he gets back. But remember to go check us out on Spotify. We have our YouTube channel. I'm uploading these all the time, so make sure you go like, share, and subscribe. But until next week, this is your coach with the entire Whiskey and Wisdom staff saying good night. We appreciate you. All have a great week out there. Adios.